Alright guys, I want to make a quick video today. I got my top sent off, supposed to be done mid-week. Hopefully have it back by Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to powder coat it silver to match the rest of it. I did put some oil in here. You see the mess. Actually, I took this plug out on the side and I took this down on top, and I put probably a good pint in there nearly. It blowed out of the top and just run over. And then I remembered years ago we had a seal leaking on this thing. And when the seal goes leaking, it drips. Let's see if we can shine some light in here. It drips through that seal right in there around this thing. So after I got in there and doodled out all the grease that's mud packed in the side of it, I drained all the oil back out. I don't know if I want to try to take this thing apart, try to find a new seal for it. It's probably obsolete. I don't know if I could even get parts or find it. I can't even hardly find this particular model on the internet. Evidently it's a pretty old model. It is a 1 horsepower. I finally did see it. See if I can show you that. Put the light back on. Focus. See that little mark right there, 1 horse. Surprised me. I figured it was at least a 5, but apparently most of these models, unless it's a commercial model, are either 1 or 2 horse models. Now your cheaper ones are going to be a 3/4 horse, and I look at the size of the tray that's on top of them. Toray makes a one similar, which B-Row does too. They still make them, and it's similar to this. It's a I believe it's a 922. The 22 is the size of the plate, and I really didn't explain that in the last video. These plates on this particular model are different than most of the plates I've found. This plate has a flat end, a flat piece on it, and that, I'll show you this part here. This part here, the bottom's flat on it, so it has to have a flat end grinder plate. And on the plate, it's got 22, 1 3/8, 9mm, and DC. Now these plates are usually marked on one side with an indentation, and if I ain't mistaken, this indentation goes to the outside, so when you put your plate on, put it on like that. I'm trying to look at the knife marks. It's really hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure the way these, if you buy a knife that's matched to it, it's the way these things are made. That has to be, the knife has to be against this side here. And somebody blowing, but anyway, so the knives are pretty much generic standard knives, little square hole. The plates are different. This is a big hole plate. This is coarse ground. We use it for sausage. And then you have a hamburger plate, which is a 22 0/1/8 3.5mm D. I don't know what the D stands for, or the 3.5mm, but you notice that one's got the little indentation too. And yep, this definitely goes to the outside. A lot of plates you see are round like that with a little notch in them. Some of them have more than one notch, and that little plate goes on that little grinder in there. Okay guys, there's one more thing I meant to mention, was the plate size. This is a size 22. This is a size 12. This is a Hobart plate. Got Hobart on the side of it. 22, 12, and they make a 32. It's even bigger. The 32 is more commercial size. You can grind well over 1,000 pounds an hour with a 32. The 22, depending on the size of your grinder, you're looking at 600 to 800 pounds an hour, which is plenty enough for anything you're gonna do at home. And then the 12 is probably looking at about 200 to 300 pounds an hour, and that size is what we got on this little grinder. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, 12. So that's a little bitty grinder. I don't know the horsepower rating on that. You can find these on Craigslist all day long for, you know, a couple $100. I don't recommend this unless you're just doing deer. If you're doing deer, that'll be plenty. With beef, you got a lot more meat to deal with, and you will be sitting there forever trying to grind it with a little 12. So definitely get the 22. Like I said, these flat bottom ones, I can't hardly find these anymore. I've been looking. So if you get one, try to get the Hobart style with a little notch. You can find these just about any little old grinder parts place, different prices. Probably find a better deal on a 22, the size 22 like the Hobart. Yeah, I had one more thing I forgot to. I was talking about the Toray. Makes a model similar to this with a big tray on it. I think it's a one horse also, and if I ain't mistaken, the prices I've seen on it were like $1,400 or $1,500. Biro still makes some belt driven ones, but the commercial ones have a gear driven transmission on them, which makes them a whole lot higher. And most of them are 3-phase. So if you find one online that's big, if it says commercial, more than likely it's 3-phase. If you're lucky enough to have 3-phase, you can probably get a steal on it. 3-phase ones are usually, used ones are cheaper than what I've seen, are cheaper than the single phase. We don't have 3-phase out here at the farm, so I'm stuck with single phase. But I have been looking around to see. Well, I was looking for parts mainly, but I've seen a lot that's similar to this, and all of them's, you know, $1,400 to $1,600, and I just ain't willing to put that money into it unless this gearbox kicks the bucket, and then we'll have to do something then. So anyway, there you go.